Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. Here's your host, Brien Hanley.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. Welcome back to Big 12 Insiders. Today is the game of the week. Basically, only three games that really push the needle within the Big 12 this weekend in week 3. But we're going to decide, or I've already decided, which game is the most important, and we'll break down why it's the best game between the three that I just mentioned, and then give you a lowdown on the breakdown of that specific game and also who wins, in my opinion. So should be a good one. Either way, I'm excited for this weekend still because we're going to find out some stuff about certain football teams, but I believe this game of the week is important to both teams. So before we get started, remember to like, follow, subscribe, continue to get in the comments section as always, and hit that notification bell so you know exactly when Big 12 Insiders content comes out. So first off, the three big games. Kansas State goes to Arizona. Kansas State has struggled basically for the last 2.5 games. Played good first half against Iowa State, and then has just not looked the same since then for whatever reason. Arizona beat up on two separate opponents, but those opponents are not very good football teams. So it's a good sign that Arizona beat them up because that's all you can ask. Hey, you're playing competition that's not very good. Go out and blow them out. They haven't let a touchdown be scored on them all season. So it's an intriguing football game there. Backyard brawl. Again, y'all know I talk about my brother, God rest his soul, glowingly. He just loved these rivalry games. Loved this one. Craziness. They genuinely just despise each other. And I know other rivalries don't, and there's some venom. And this one's got a lot of venom too. I love it. But Pittsburgh going to West Virginia, big game, but some of the spice came off. If West Virginia would have won, then I would have said, you know what? Okay, maybe this is the game of the week. We'll see if Rich Rod and West Virginia is really back. We can still see that. Don't want to discount. We can still see if Rich Rod and West Virginia at least are back to being competitive against Power 4 football teams. We'll see what happens. But they lost last week to Ohio, and it didn't look good how they lost. So we're going to bypass the backyard brawl, though we all should watch it because I think it's going to be a crazy good game, just not the game of the week within the Big 12 Conference. For me, I think it's Colorado traveling to Houston tonight. The game's on ESPN, 6:30 Central Time. Look, there's the factors that go into this, and the reason that it is because both teams – I think if they're going to go where they want to go, and I mentioned this yesterday, and I kind of mentioned this again to Adam Munstertiger, who covers Colorado. We spoke to him on Wednesday, is if both teams are going to have the kind of successful season that they want to have, they both circled this game as a win. Now, I know some people are going to say, oh, every game you should go win. Of course you should. But there's certain games that you're like, okay, 50-50, we don't know, yada, yada, yada. There's other games that are saying, you know what, we got to win this one because, again, counting wins, all this kind of stuff. This is a game that Houston and Colorado have circled that they need to win. This is a win on their schedule. Clearly, both teams are not going to win. We'll break down some of the keys to the game here. So, first off, for Colorado, they got to match the crowd early. It's going to be a wild atmosphere. Houston, that stadium, I like the stadium. It's not overwhelming as far as crowd noise, but they get loud in there. They get rowdy. It's a Friday night. They're going to show up. It's Colorado with Coach Prime for whatever that means. People want to play against Colorado. They want to see Colorado. So there's going to be a lot of attention. There's going to be a lot of people at that game. But Colorado's got to come out and match that early. Come out, get out to a fast start. It's important. Quiet the crowd down, get some plays going, put a long drive together, get some points on the board, and maybe come out and stop Houston a time or two early. But you got to find a way to try to take the crowd out of the game early. Okay? Next, control of the line of scrimmage for both teams is going to be important. It's just going to be hugely important. The more physical team usually wins, especially when it comes to college football. Now, it's not always the case. I harped on Colorado last year where they were not the more physical team, but they won 9 football games. So that's why I always have that caveat, usually wins. Now, there were some factors. They had some stars, Heisman Trophy winner, record-setting quarterback, yada, yada, yada. But they don't have that anymore. So the physical team usually wins. Houston wants to be physical. I love Willie Fritz and how he's changed the mindset and the culture of that program from being hey, we're just going to outscore you. We're going to score a ton of points. Yeah, you might score on us, but we're going to go right back down the field. We want to beat you 45-42. He's changed the entire mindset of, you know what? We're going to grind it out. We're not going to let you run the ball. We're going to run the ball. We're going to be a physical football team, and we don't mind beating you 17-14 if we have to. We want to score more points than that, but if it's a 17-14 game and we win, we'll take it. Love that mindset out of him. Maybe a little old school, I'll admit, but physical football, like I mentioned before, usually wins, especially in college football. Now, Colorado, look, Houston has dominated the two opponents physically, but they haven't really been good competition. Stephen F. Austin, Rice, although Rice did put up a fight for a half, but Houston was pretty vanilla on both sides of the football, but they did win physically. So they dominated the line of scrimmage, but they're supposed to. Big 12 team against FCS and a group of 5, they're supposed to dominate on both sides of the ball. We've seen Colorado, by chance, though, get whipped. In a game against Georgia Tech, they ran for 320 yards. In Colorado, they just got the ball and ran it down your throat and couldn't stop it. That's not good. Now, you might say, yeah, okay, they rebounded against Delaware, but it's Delaware. Okay? It's Delaware. You're supposed to rebound against Delaware. You still gave up 5 sacks. You know, I want to see. I know that Colorado has gotten better running the football with their running backs. They have been better. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But until I see Colorado be a physical football team, it's just hard for me to say that they're going to be, because they keep saying they want to be, but we haven't seen it. Just show me. That's all I want you to do. Just go show me. Just go show me. So some of the playmakers, look, I guess Ryan Staub is going to start for Colorado. It appears there's been reports. I shouldn't say all the reports, but there's been reports. He's taken the majority of the first team reps, whether you want to believe that or not. Coach Brien kind of keeping it close to the vest. I love it. There's no reason for him to tell you who's going to be the starter. He doesn't have to do that. And since he doesn't have to, I wouldn't. I love the fact that he's hiding it. Now, here's the thing. If he is the starter, is any other Colorado quarterback going to play? Are they going to play 3 like they played last week? I find that hard to believe. They might play 2, and then Coach Brien goes with the hot hand, and maybe that's what it is. We don't know who the starter actually is going to be as of yet. We've seen this play out with other teams in the past. It's taken a couple games before we can find out who the actual starter is. Caden Salter has been extremely inconsistent, and while they brought him in to be the starter, he's been too inconsistent to just say he's the starter. You know, you can't have that on your football team at that position. Oh, this guy's just ultra inconsistent with his ball placement, with his reach. You can't have that. So they're giving other opportunities, and Ryan Staub may have just won himself a job. We'll see tonight. I'm interested to see what happens. Houston, on the other hand, look, it appears they've found their offense, or found some offense. They found their quarterback. That's kind of what's been plaguing them over the last couple of seasons. They just haven't had good quarterback play. Just rotten quarterback play. It appears to be settled. Connor Wegman, as long as he's healthy, which was a problem at Texas A&M, he seems to have settled down the position there, which is a good sign. But they also have Dean Connors. He's led a pretty balanced rushing attack for Houston. Again, like I said, they want to be physical. They want to run the football. They want to be a team that establishes the line of scrimmage, especially on offense. So and do a lot of play action. But don't be surprised if they come out throwing the football tonight against Colorado early. Don't be surprised. But their offensive line has also been a little shaky, though. Giving up sacks to Rice. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the physicality of the up front. So I say Houston wants to do that. We're a little leaky against Rice. We'll see. We'll see who wins, because I still think Colorado can get after the quarterback too. I believe they can get after the quarterback, although necessarily sacking the quarterback isn't always physical. But if you can stop Houston from running the football, that's where you're getting physical. Stop them from running, get them in and be one-dimensional where they have to throw the football. That's where Colorado can then tee off on the quarterback. So we'll see. As far as what my prediction for the game is, I've kind of gone back and forth on this one, but I like Houston. I like Houston 24-13. I think they're not going to let Colorado do what they want to do. I think Colorado's going to have a hard time running the football. We've seen that. I think Colorado's going to have a hard time keeping Houston from getting after their quarterback. We've seen that. So I just think Houston is going to win the physical matchup. Again, it's not that Colorado isn't capable of winning and they're not capable of being physical, but I just haven't seen it. And like I said before, until you show me, I can't believe it, and I won't believe it. And I think that's how kind of most of us act, is like, look, you can tell me that that's what you want to do or that's what you're going to do. But until you actually do it, why should we believe it? And that's where I'm at with Colorado and this whole physicality thing. Got to show me. Got to go do it. And Houston, whether it's been against bad opponents, and it has been, we have at least seen it. And we also saw it last year as far as their defense was concerned. Their offense wasn't great last year, but you did see that with their defense last year. So I like Houston in this game. I think they control the clock. I think they control the line of scrimmage. I think they do enough to win. Again, they're not scoring a ton of points, but I think they win 24-13. I just think they handled things up front against Colorado. I think it's going to be a good football game. I really do. There might be a defensive touchdown. I think the special teams needs to be special for both teams. If they're not, and I'm going to say this every single week, no matter what the game of the week is, special teams need to be special, especially when it's a game that's evenly matched. And clearly we're going to pick games that are going to be pretty evenly matched to be the game of the week. You're not going to pick, a game that we think, or at least I'm not going to pick a game that we think is going to be a blowout as the game of the week. So special teams, special, control the line of scrimmage. I like Houston in this one, but it should be a really good football game. Make sure you guys tune in, man. So I may be doing a live tomorrow morning before everything gets started at 11. So I may, and when I talk times, I'm in Central Time. I'm in Dallas. So I might start a live at 10 a.m. tomorrow just to get out here, talk a little college football, little Big 12 football in the morning. So if you're around, make sure you tune in if you have the opportunity. I'd appreciate to see a lot of you guys out there. It was a good week. Had a good week. Looking forward to a big college football Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. This has been a Spirit Street production.